Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about why your brain struggles to finish, understanding the science behind that follow through and strategies that you can use that actually help. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Shannon Schroeder, the F-bomb coach. I help neurodivergent ADHD women build sustainable systems for their businesses to calm some of the chaos in their lives. I'm sure this sounds familiar to most, if not all of you. I start everything, but I finish nothing. This isn't a willpower problem. It's not laziness, and it's definitely not lack of caring. This is your brain's executive function, and it works differently. Today, we're going to talk about the reasons finishing is hard and what actually works for a neurodivergent brain. Here are three of the things that cause you to not get to the finish line. First up is task initiation. Your brain needs a signal to begin. ADHD brains often can't manufacture that signal on command, even when the task matters. You know it's important. You may even want to do it. You just can't make yourself start. Next up, working memory. This keeps your why and your next step active while you're working. When it drops the ball, you lose the thread mid-task of what you're supposed to be doing. And then we have time blindness. ADHD brains experience time differently. Future deadlines feel far too abstract until they're really urgent, which makes follow through feel impossible because you're always running up against that craziness of deadlines. So let's talk a little bit about how each of these things look and feel for you. So task initiation, why starting feels impossible. Other people in the outside world look at you and they assume that you're not motivated enough, that you just need to sit down and do it. And you'll feel like doing it eventually. And that's not the case. What's actually happening is that the ADHD brain needs interest, urgency, challenge, or novelty in order to kickstart. Without one of those triggers, the word start means nothing. That's the way your brain is wired. Think of working memory like a sticky note for your brain's desk. For many ADHD brains, that sticky note keeps falling off. It'll disappear mid-task, mid-sentence, mid-project. So if you are working and you have a tab open on your computer and you're like, why? I don't know why I opened this. It's gone. If you are switching tasks, that kind of interruption can make it difficult because you lose that mental context. You had in your brain, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm doing, and then you have to switch or someone interrupts you and then you lose it all. That's all working memory. Time blindness. You will hear some people say it's not real. It is absolutely real. ADHD brains often only experience two times, now and not now. That's the simplest version. If a deadline lives in the not now, your brain treats it like it doesn't even really exist until it is suddenly, urgently now. This isn't procrastination. It is a difference, a neurological difference in how you perceive time. And the last hurdle is the actual finishing part. And we talk about how finishing isn't the hardest part. It's that when you get to the 80% mark, that makes it really hard. When you get to like that 80% mark, you kind of hit a wall. And why does that happen? And here are four reasons why that might happen. First, the dopamine wears off, right? Like it's not fun, it's not exciting, it's not challenging because you're really close to the end. Perfectionism will kick in here because when you get close to the end and you can see where you're supposed to be done, that rejection sensitivity will be like, but what if it's not good enough? Maybe we need to stop here and rethink it. If you don't have a clear done signal, if you don't know what done really looks like, that makes it hard because oftentimes, again, that will work in tandem with perfectionism. We know we can make things better. So how do you know if it's really done? And then there is the feeling of overwhelm. The final 20% is usually the tedious part. It's the let me revise it. Let me make sure the spelling is right. Let me make sure this is the most logical order. And so that is the boring part, that cleaning it up phase of things. And because that is boring, that is low interest, but it still requires effort, you'll shut down. So now let's talk about some strategies that will actually work. So I've got four strategies here, one for each of those struggles that you might be dealing with. First up, for task initiation, the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule is one of my all-time favorite strategies for all kinds of things when it comes to task initiation. The 5-minute rule just says that you tell yourself that you're doing something for only 5 minutes. That's it. We can convince ourselves as people to do almost anything for 5 minutes. It's not about, I'm going to finish this task or I'm going to do the thing. It's, I'm going to start. I'm going to work for 5 minutes. And you set a timer and then you get started. Oftentimes, your brain will keep going once it has started. But by removing that pressure of, I got to get it done, that helps you do it. Now, the thing is that when that timer goes off at 5 minutes, you got to let yourself off the hook. That doesn't mean you're done with it done. That means you're going to come back to it again. And maybe you have to chip away at that task 5 minutes at a time. But at some point, your brain will be like, oh, it's close enough. I can finish it. Number 2, for working memory, externalize everything. Let's face it, you cannot trust your memory. You cannot trust your memory to hold on to all of the things because it is always trying to hold on to all of the things. So write the next step down on a sticky note, say it out loud, use a checklist that you can work through, a visible one that's up on your board or on your desktop. Get it out of your head and into the space around you so that you can see it and rely on it. For number 3, time blindness. Make time visible. You do not feel time the way neurotypical people do. You think everything's either 5 minutes or 3 hours. Like there is no in between. And you're either underestimating or overestimating how long things will take. So use analog timers so that you can see time disappearing. Time timers are great for that because the color actually disappears as you were losing time. Time block your calendar. Block out specific time for things, not just, oh, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do it later today. When? When are you going to do it? After lunch? When? Pick a time. Not necessarily a time like 2 o'clock, but at what point in your day you're going to do it. And number 4, for getting past that 80% block that you hit, design your finish line before you start the project. What does done look like before you even start? Give it a deadline, give yourself a reward. Your brain needs to know what you're working towards. And if you do that, then your brain's going to know, oh, I hit the end. I'm done. Let's go celebrate. And you need to stop measuring yourself against the wrong ruler. You've spent your whole life being compared to neurotypical people. You hear things like, why can't I just finish this? Everyone else can do it. I'll never change. That is a mindset shift you absolutely can change. You just need the right tools and strategies to make it happen. So you need to start thinking, my brain needs different scaffolding. I'm working with a different operating system. If you were a Mac computer in a world of PCs, you would not expect to function the same. That's who you are. And you need to believe that you can build systems that work with your brain. You can. It does make a difference. You just have to find the right ones. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. If this resonated with you, please hit like and subscribe so that other ADHD women can find this video and get the help that they need. See you on the next one.